Okay.
Okay, great. So again, thank you for coming for today's session. It is the last session of this cohort, and we'll be dabbling on how to manage your campaign and just some basic information that is important for you to know. So, in order
Okay.
for you to run a successful campaign, it requires more than just sharing with your supporters. You need to plan, execute, and engage with people as much as possible. So during this session, we will be talking about how to successfully manage your campaign.
Okay.
So you must have these things on your checklist. Number one, how to manage a campaign once it goes live, how to monitor a campaign's progress, and also how to plan and execute after the campaign comes to an end. So these are some of the things you will need. We advise that you implement after your campaign is launched and goes live. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is making sure you have a compelling pitch. Okay. When you have a live campaign, you want to make sure that your supporters are contributing towards your campaign. And in order for you to convince them to do so, you must have a compelling pitch to give them a good impression and to help them understand what you're doing. Um, Whenever we start these training sessions, majority of the businesses don't understand what crowdfunding is, but by the time we come to an end, you do know what crowdfunding is. So when you're reaching out to people, you have to help them understand what crowdfunding is and what your goal is. Okay. We encourage that you practice your pitch prior to your campaign going live. We encourage that you either practice in front of the mirror, you can try record yourself to see how you sound and look like when pitching, or alternatively, you can reach out to friends and close family members to pitch to them and they can maybe give you feedback as well. It is very, very important to have a clear, concise, and compelling pitch. The reason why we say compelling is because we want to convert your network into supporters. So you must make sure that you're able to set up a pitch that can convince them towards contributing towards your campaign. The next thing that you need to do to manage a live campaign is build a community of supporters. So, in order for your campaign to be successful, you must have people who are willing to support. So, it is important for you to create those list of networks. Like we discussed last time, list down all the people who are in your networks and divide them amongst the different categories. Are they the first degree of network, second or third? And approach them accordingly. Okay. So it's important for you to establish early in advance who exactly you'll be reaching out to. Because with crowdfunding, funds don't come automatically to your account. You must reach out to people for them to contribute towards your campaign. Um, Another thing is communicate effectively with your supporters. So as you continue to run your campaign, it is important to give provide as much communication as possible. If anybody reaches out with a question, make sure you're able to respond as soon as possible with an answer to the question they may have. Make sure you engage with people every day and continue reminding them. Human beings tend to want to be reminded, so it is important that you remind people that you have a campaign and their support would be highly appreciated from you. So it is very important for you to make sure that you do reach out to people as much as possible, communicate to them. For those who have already supported you, you can give them progress updates and tell them that we've been able to reach maybe 20% of the goal that we had. Encourage them to share your campaign with their networks as well. So communication is really, really important, and you have to be able to communicate to people almost every day of your campaign. Do not just launch a campaign and forget about it because nothing will happen to the campaign. You really have to be intentional. And like you said, with the matching funds, your first goal is to at least reach 3,000 for you to get matching funds, and then continue raising any amount after that to continue to receive the matching amount. So it is important for you to engage with your networks, engage with your people, and try your best to reach that 3,000 first, and then continue pushing to raise more money. Another thing that is important to allow you to manage a good campaign, a live campaign, is making sure that you have good rewards. It's important for you to have rewards that can encourage people towards contributing. So they have to be good, attractive rewards because this will be the motivator towards people wanting to support your campaign. In order for you to confirm whether your rewards are ideal or are great, ask yourself whether you would purchase them. Ask your friend or family member, would you purchase this reward if you saw it? And if they say no, ask them what would be the alternative, what would make sense to you, just to give you a better understanding on whether the rewards you set up are ideal and will be convincing enough for people to want to purchase to support your campaign. Um, The next thing is monitoring campaign progress. It's very important for you to monitor the progress. And the reason as to why is because you need to understand whether you are right on track to reaching your goal. Um, in with the people you've reached out to, do you believe majority of them have supported you? If not, what can you do different or what can you add on to what you're doing in order for you to increase the number of supporters and the amount that you're raising? So number one, it's important to be tracking your key performance metrics. So what you do during a campaign is that you're able to monitor the number of supporters you have and the amount you've raised and compare it with the number of days that are remaining. Okay. We always say it's important to have good momentum in the beginning of the campaign to maintain momentum, but it doesn't mean that if you don't have momentum that you can't pick it up in the middle or towards the end of your campaign. So always make sure every day the first thing that you do is to check your campaign, see how many supporters you have, see how much you've been able to raise. And if you're seeing there's no difference, that means there's something that you need to adjust, there's something that you need to change in order for you to continue raising funds. So maybe you may need to adjust your communication, maybe you need to remind people more, so there's so many things that could be factor, and it's for you to look at your networks and try to figure out what is it that I can do different in order for me to continue be able to raise more funds. Another thing is identifying trends and patterns. So it's important for you to analyze and ask yourself, what part time at the campaign was I able to raise more? Maybe in the beginning I was able to raise more, but right now I'm not able to raise more. Try and see what are the factors that worked for you and what changes can you make in order for it to work for you. Different businesses run their campaigns differently, and different things work for them depending on their network. So it's important for you to identify what trends and patterns work well for your campaign in order for you to maybe apply that more. So if you've reached a place where your campaign is a bit stagnant, consider trying a few different things just so that you're able to consider and see what will work best for your campaign. Managing a live campaign also is making sure you communicate effectively towards your. Sorry, I think I've gone back. um, yes. Another thing is also making data-driven decisions when monitoring the progress of your campaign. So use the data that you've already collected for your campaign to make informed decisions. Um, like I said, what time of your campaign were you able to raise more? Maybe if you posted on your social media, that was effective for you. Maybe if you put it up on your WhatsApp status at a particular time, maybe in the morning where people are able to see it as the first thing, it worked for you. Maybe phone calls worked better for you rather than messages or emails. So it's important to make data-driven decisions by comparing what supporters you've been able to receive, the amount you've been able to gain on your campaign, and at the time that majority of that was able to take place. Another thing about monitoring your campaign is respond to feedback from your backers. So make sure if any of your supporters reach out to you with a question or reach out to you with any feedback, make sure you respond to them in a timely manner so that they can see that you're really engaged with your campaign. So once your campaign goes live, you have to be engaged with it every day until it comes to an end, monitoring your campaign, reaching out to people, in short, it's like you will be having a second job, to be honest, but all that effort does pay off. And we've noticed that for majority of their campaigns, those that do well, whenever we reach out to them and ask them what you did, like they said, they worked on their campaign every day. They reached out to people every day. And for majority of those that didn't do so well, they said, to be honest, I didn't give it that much attention and I didn't realize that I should have. So it is very, very important for you to give attention to your campaign every single day in order for you to see those results and for you to raise the funds for your campaign. Um, Another thing now is also considering what you need to do after a campaign comes to an end. The first and most important thing is making sure that you do fulfill the rewards that people have purchased. So, in order for people to also believe in your business, feel like you are trustworthy as a business owner, it is important to make sure that you do provide the rewards at the time that you had told that you would, and make sure that every individual that purchased a reward is able to receive the reward. So our team normally sends you a list of all the supporters and any rewards that they had purchased in order for you to plan accordingly. Another thing that's also very important is after a campaign comes to an end, it's important to thank your supporters. So again, it also does build trust and loyalty with your supporters, but it's also a good gesture to just thank people for the support that they've given your campaign. We don't want them to feel like you've taken it for granted, and they didn't have to do so, but they did. So it's always important to thank them. And like I said, it does go a long way. It does show good customer service, and just it's a great way to also just engage more with your supporters as well. So as we conclude, by following those tips and strategies that we've outlined during the training sessions, we do believe you'll be definitely better equipped to manage your campaign. It will help you engage with your backers. It will help you monitor your progress. It will help you analyze your campaign as you continue to run it. Remember to be flexible and be willing to adapt to changing circumstances. So be willing to change your approach on how you're reaching out to people if you feel like it's not working out for you. And once you're able to find maybe something that does work for you, maintain that and apply that. But like we said, your campaign is like a second job. You have to engage with it every single day. You have to reach out to people every single day. We do tell people like reach out to 5 people via text, 5 people via phone call, 3 people via email, one social media post if you do have a social media every day. We do have so many networks. I do tell people look at your phone, see how many phone numbers you have. So we do have a lot of networks. It's just a matter of us figuring out the best way to reach out to them. But we do believe with all that we've been able to provide in the past 3 sessions, that you will be able to effectively run a very successful campaign. So that comes to the end of today's session. I don't know whether any of you have any questions. Kutsitso, do you have any questions?
For now, I don't have any questions, but I have to make a very remarkable statement. We all know that today it's one of the biggest day. We are celebrating an Africa Day.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Happy Africa Day. And what you have said mouthfully. And with your help, I think our business will grow, and it's part of opening a new market.
Yeah.
I know it's a new thing, but hence the way you are teaching us, the way you were very passionate and humble to us.
Yeah.
I think for my side, whatever I have learned through this campaign, whatever you were correcting me, it's part of a learning curve, and it's
Yeah.
part of business development, how to develop your business, how to pitch your business. And hence you have said that our business is our responsibilities, and then we have to check even our campaign Whenever it goes live, we need to manage such. We don't have to sit back and say no, people they will know about us, or else we are not doing anything.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say it's a game changer, and I appreciate the opportunity that you have given us, and it's very positive to what we are doing,
Yeah.
because we need to crack the market. The economy is very low.
Yeah.
uh, the unemployment is high. People that are not working, and when you check around, there's no way you can find job, but at least there are programs that they are supporting what we are doing. It leads to create jobs to people in the community. It leads to fight for the economy, like uh, other people, e.g. the Europeans, the way they are fighting, the Chinese, the way they are fighting. And for this campaign, it will help us. I really see the light from it, and if it's up to us as the business owners to give a try. Thanks for the opportunity, and then wherever we find like we are working in the dark, I think the WhatsApp group is there for you
Yes,
to correct
absolutely.
us.
Yes, yeah. So
For yeah,
in
it's simple words that I can say, but happy Africa Day, happy Africa Month to you. I know we are under SADC. Let's celebrate our Africa Day with pride and with dignity.
absolutely. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Yes, in as much as today is the last session, training session, we still do have the WhatsApp group for you to ask any questions as you continue running your campaign, even as it continues to be live. So do not hesitate to reach out to us if you may have any question at all. Okay. Okay.
Oh, one last thing. One last thing.
Yes.
Uh, will you able to send us those presentation? I think we need to have such a presentation in our site so that we can
Yes.
refer and then check where it's necessary. We can check what to do. I think those presentations I really need them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely make sure that the presentations are shared. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So do enjoy the rest of your week, and we do wish you all the best as you will continue to work on your campaign and also as it goes live.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.